Start recording? What'd you say?
I think it's the second one. Recording set. Yeah, maybe it's video right? Yeah.
Yeah, alright. You wanted a 30?
No, 60. We needed 60. Wait, maybe it's not video out. It's like recording settings. Try the first menu. No.
Camera set? No. It should be in recording settings.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you can't change that during record, like while you're recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna start recording.
Yeah, right there, recording format. So you get up there. No, yeah, right there. And you need to bring it up to 120 to show your screen.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah, it's just a lot smoother. I don't know, something looked off. So this needs to go to 120 to show your screen. So I don't know what. Otherwise, it's at 250. Can you bring it back down? Here.
Would you want it at
125 is fine. Yeah. There we go.
I love that place. Open? Oh, the place is the best. Yeah. Keep it. Sorry. I'm going to touch that probably. Throw. Yep. Nick, are you recording it?
Yep.
You are? Okay,
Yep.
you're good.
Oh, this one. It's on one door. That one's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait. Chuck?
Good afternoon, high school softball fans, and welcome to Ashland High for today's MIAA preliminary playoff round matchup between the visiting Walpole High School Warriors, who come in at a 10-9 record, and your Ashland High School Clockers. I'm Michael Kyra, and I'm joined today by longtime WACA television broadcaster George Tubin, and we will be joined shortly by Jacob Padula, who will indeed take over for play-by-play when he arrives. But George, this is set up to be a really great game, as the Clockers have not played in the playoffs since before 2011. Actually, since 2011, and they really are excited to get their first ever playoff matchup here against Wayland.
Yeah, the team is excited. I think the whole town is excited to see the girls playing so well this year. I mean, they just they're doing exceptionally, and it's a team that has an array of girls from different classes, from freshmen to seniors, and they've just been demolishing it. They finished number 28 in the MIAA standings, and the way MIAA works is that if you finish outside of the top 32, but you have a 500 record or better, you're able to have a play-in game. And those teams, when they play in, they'll play with starting with number 32, then 31, then and so forth. And there were enough teams that had a 500 record or better that Ashland now has to be involved with a play-in game, even though they finished in the top 32. But I think they played this team earlier in the year, and then they went by a run, Mike?
Yeah, so this is definitely a familiar foe for the Clockers today. They did play Wayland earlier in the season. I believe it was their third full game, their fourth scheduled game. And the Clockers were able to come out on top 5-4 on a walk-off hit by Quinn Herder. That game was a battle all the way until the bottom of the seventh. And Wayland got in interesting fashion. So Wayland went into last weekend sitting at sitting at I believe an 8-10 or 8-9 record. An 8-9 record, and they had a doubleheader against Lynn Classical, finishing up a game that had been canceled from earlier. And they did their job. Wayland did their job to get themselves in the playoff, to finish above 500. So they come and they face Ashland today, and what is sure to be an excellent matchup. The Clockers will have their work cut out for them, but if they get their bats rolling, they can compete with just about anybody.
I 100% agree. I know, Mike, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the pitching situation in today's game?
Yeah, so obviously we have touched on this in games that we've done the last couple of days, but starting pitcher, newly named Tri-Valley League Honorable Mention All-Star Bella Domestico, who has carried the load for the Clockers throughout the year, is unavailable today due to injury. So Holly Cashin will get the call. Holly Cashin will get the nod. She has had a couple starts under her belt here for the Clockers, and she's done an admirable job for the Clockers in Bella's absence. Holly did a ton of pitching for the Clockers last year. She was their primary pitcher, and she actually faced Wayland last year. So this is a familiar foe for her, and if Holly can throw strikes, I think the Clockers can get the job done.
I agree with you. A lot of pressure on Holly, though, to come in after not pitching much during the season. As you said, the way softball works is you rely on a single pitcher. And, to come in now in playoffs and kind of, have to shoulder the burden there on the mound is quite the ask for somebody. But, Holly is, she's a veteran. She's done this before. She's the right person that we want to have out there, and I think Ashland's going to look good in this game.
I would say so. And Ashland on defense starts here. I'll give you a quick rundown on defense. Sophomore Holly Cashin is in the circle. Her battery mate will be freshman Ava Vendetti, who is behind the plate at third. Lorelei Collette. Nico Eustaris is at short. Haley Buterman playing second base. Caroline Kyrie gets the start today at first base. And the outfield left to right is going to be senior Rebecca Kriesman, senior Quinn Herder, and freshman Maddie Sanders gets the start today in right field. We are underway here as Bella delivers her, as Holly,
you're so used to saying Bella. I love
delivers her first pitch to leadoff hitter Hines for Wayland. And Hines grounds one to Collette, picks it up, cannot get it out of her glove, and that's going to go down, I'm assuming, as an infield hit. Tough little play there. We'll see how it gets officially scored. Unfortunately, I do not have first names for the lineup yet for Wayland, but this coming to the plate is number 26, Goldman, and my favorite partner of all my partners, Jacob Padula, just arrived. He's going to take over play-by-play momentarily as there is a runner on first with no outs for Cashin. It's going to be a soft pop-up to Haley Buterman, who gets underneath it and makes the easy play for the first out of the inning. Nice to get Buterman involved really defensively. Hopefully the right side of the infielder can take care of business, which brings up probably Wayland's best player, George, Sophia Beckett, who will be in the circle for Wayland today, and she's also one heck of a hitter for the Warriors.
It's good to see you, gentlemen.
Jacob, nice to see you.
Traffic is rough getting here, but we made it.
If you're ready, you can take over.
I think I got it here.
Yeah, just so you know, we're in the middle of the 6th inning.
A little bit late.
Okay, just kidding.
That one's low. Holly Cashin on the mound. I was looking at Sophia Beckett, the pitcher for Wayland, 500 career strikeouts.
Yeah, she does. She has 500 career strikeouts. She was mentioned as one of the 35 players to watch by the Metro West Daily News in the MIAA playoffs. So she is a worthy competitor in the circle today for Holly.
And she's ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes here. Batting .328 on the season.
Yeah, Beckett certainly is a kid that can get them going if she can get her bat on the ball. Got to try to get out of this one.
That is a strike there on a 3-0 she was taking.
Kind of amazing. We had a little bit of a shower before an hour before the game, and the game just got underway right at the right time as there's a walk. Right as the rain let up. So now it looks like a pretty nice evening. Hopefully we're through the showers.
So 2 on here for Wayland. Nobody out.
1 out.
Oh, sorry, 1 out.
Yeah, we did get 1 out on the pop-up to Haley.
Now you're all caught up, so
yes,
you'll be on it. I know.
Yes. Here's Kelsey Kaufman. First pitch to her is in there for a strike. She's batting .436 this season for Wayland. 22 runs driven in 18 games played. That one fouled back, and Cashin's quickly ahead, 0-2 here.
Great to get ahead right here, right? We talked about this. Getting ahead of these hitters is so critical to the success of a pitcher who hasn't thrown a lot of innings. If she can keep the ball in the strike zone, we have a great chance here.
Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. She went after one in the dirt, and that is out number 2.
Nice little change of speeds for Holly. She fooled her on that one. She got her to chase a pitch in the dirt, and that's a big out now for the Clockers with 2 outs, runners on first and second. A potential jam that they could be in, and hopefully Holly can get them out of this.
The outfield was way back there for Kaufman during that at-bat. That's a ball to Aubrey Calabro.
You said Calabro, I said Calabro.
237 on the year for the senior. Here's the 1-0. That's a miss. Throw back to first. Back in there is Beckett.
Good job keeping the runner honest. May not have been an opportunity to get her, but at least now you have the runner thinking that the catcher's not afraid to throw down.
Yeah, my only fear in a play like that with 2 outs is that if the ball somehow scoots past that first baseman, you could be in trouble giving up an unnecessary run.
That one just missed, and it's 3 balls and no strikes here.
So we have seen this plate umpire before earlier in the season, and he has the smallest strike zone I've ever seen. So we'll see what happens. You have to literally put it directly over the plate for him to call a strike.
Swinging on 3-0, and came up empty. It's 3-1.
So hopefully it's not the same strike zone that he had in Hopkinton for Bella that Holly gets.
Here comes the 3-1. That one is upstairs. So Wayland loads the bases here in the first with 2 away.
Right, you got 2 out.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to let them walk in a run and just give one away. He's going to buckle down a little bit, figure out what this strike zone is, and start getting them in there.
So bases loaded. Nowhere to put her. First pitch is a ball. Yep. I believe this is Caitlin DeJulia. 255 this season. Comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Took a huge hack. And it's 1-1.
Julia played third base for the Warriors in the first game. She played a great game over there at third base. I believe she was 1 for 2 in that initial contest.
Here comes the 1-1. That's a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. 1 run scores. They go station to station, and Wayland with 2 outs strikes first.
Yeah, the Julia, it's a nice piece of hit, and to get it over the leaping Lorelei Collette over there down the third baseline. She ripped one right down the line. Luckily, Rebecca Crease was able to get in a hurry, hold that to only 1 run. But we've got ourselves in a little bit of trouble here with the bases loaded. Still 2 outs. Got to get out of this jam.
And it's Olivia Kermelowitz. That one's misses, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, really want to try to limit the damage here. 1 run is certainly not going to win this game with the bats that the Clockers have, but you do not want to fall behind in a game like this. I'm sure they're a little tight, and you want to make sure they can keep this thing close.
That's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Kermelowitz does strike out a lot. 210 average on the season. And looks like we're going to have a quick mound visit here.
I think it's a smart move right now. Don't you, George, come out, settle her down. She wants to, make sure she works this batter. Maybe he's even saying to her what Jacob just told us.
Yeah, of course that's a great idea, especially for somebody that hasn't pitched a lot during the season. And she's coming in, again, a lot of pressure on her. And, so a high school, student coming out in the middle of a playoff game, having not pitched. There's a lot on her mind, so it's a very smart move by the coach to come out and tell her to hey, relax, do what you do, let's get the ball on the ground and get it out here.
That one misses, so it is 3 balls and no strikes here.
You got nowhere to put her right now, so this is time. You may even have to just think about grooving one and having the defense make a play behind you, because we cannot afford to walk in a run.
And that one misses. Yeah. So they do walk in a run. Kermelowitz will take first base, and it's 2-0 Wayland.
Yeah, this is probably the worst possible start that the Clockers could have thought of in terms of walking runs in, right? This is not the kind of team that you want to give a lead to, because they also do have pretty good bats. So you got to see what Holly can settle down here.
It's a swing and a miss by the freshman Sophia Gork. 305 this season for Wayland. And Cashin gets ahead.
That's where she needs to be. She needs to be ahead. Got to get first pitch strikes here.
And Holly, I think she has a really nice changeup. She throws a lot of fastballs with just that great changeup that just kind of falls out at the end and gets batters to go for it. And I think she had a strikeout with that type of pitch, and now she just got her first strike here. I think maybe she needs to throw that a little bit more and get the batters biting on it.
Yeah, this is a big confidence batter, I think, for Holly. If you can get out of this, she gets out with a little bit more confidence than.
There's that pitch.
That's strike two.
Yeah,
Drops it
That's
in.
the doctor order, George. That's what
the
you're
pitch.
looking for.
Somebody get a message over to Holly. We want to see more of that pitch.
That's the one. That's the one. Dr. Tubin called it in.
See if she goes there again. Ahead 1 and 2 here, trying to strand the bases loaded. Ground ball into left.
Oh,
That's a base hit. They'll send another runner to the plate. And scoring standing up is DeJulia. 2 more runs come in on a single from Gork, and it's 4-0 Wayland.
Yeah, unfortunately that ball was hit hard, and Kriesman did not handle it cleanly. I think a clean handle by the left fielder would have stranded that runner at third. Unfortunately, 2 runs do end up coming in on the single. And now the Clockers find themselves in a really tough hole in the top of the first. 4-0, not a place that they have been too often this year. Let's see what kind of resilience they have when they get back to the plate, but they've got to get out of this inning.
The only thing they have going for them now is third base is open, so. Oh, was this an intentional walk? Oh no, they're checking the ball out.
I think they want a new ball.
Okay.
This is the senior Vivian Brevert. 346 average on the season from your 9-hole hitter. First pitch is outside.
You got to wonder at this point how long they stick with Cashin. You do have Nico Eustaris at shortstop who can come into the game and pitch. Nico does have experience in the circle.
That's a good pitch there, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Holly, her fastball has been coming in high. I think if she can just bring it down a little bit and keep mixing it with that changeup, she'll do fine. But just a matter of settling down in there.
1-1 bounces in there, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Good stop here by Eva behind the plate. You know, as I've said this before about this team, the key to this team is their offense. They do need to hit. 4 runs shouldn't be a insurmountable task.
That's a ground ball. Diving play. Eustaris flipped to the bag, and she caught her at second. What a play!
A huge play by Nico to stop the bleeding. You know, that's what you need when you're down and it's having a hard time. You need your best players to step up and make a play. Nico makes an absolutely great diving stop, gets the runner at second base, stop the bleeding, 4-0. Now it's time to get the bats rolling.
Yeah, as you said, it's certainly not the ideal start to the game to come in at 4-0, but in softball and the way these girls have been playing, it's 4-0 is like maybe 1-0 in a baseball game. So I'm sure they're going to get the bats moving and get this thing tied up.
Yeah, you know, we say that, but we are facing a tremendous pitcher in the circle today in Sophia Beckett. In their first matchup against the Clockers, she did something that not too many teams have done. She essentially shut down the top 4 in the lineup for Ashland. They had a couple batters that had really good days. I think Ruby Kazarian had 2 hits and Lorelei Collette had 2 hits in that game. But other than that, not a lot of hits on the day for the Clockers in their 5-4 victory. And as you said, Beckett comes into this game with 500 career strikeouts, and she's on her way to go play for Endicott after she graduates. So we've got a really formidable foe here in the circle.
Yeah, as we're watching her warm up, she has quite the fastball. I mean, it's coming in so hard, the catcher's not even able to hold on to a lot of them.
Her last time out against Lynn Classical, she got a win, 7 innings, 4 runs, 5 strikeouts. A 4.32 ERA, but 191 strikeouts. In the Dual County League, they don't post their All-Stars, I believe, till later in the summer, but you'll most likely for sure see her name in there.
I would fully anticipate that, but we've got our All-Star up at the plate right now. Leading off is one of the best in the business, Nico Eustaris. Here she goes.
6.06 average in the regular season. The first pitch is bounced in there. 4 home runs, only struck out 3 times all season. Played every game for the Clockers.
Yeah, Nico has been a consistent force at the top of the lineup for Ashland this year.
She fouls that one away, and it's a ball and a strike.
Key here is getting Nico on early, get some confidence with the rest of the lineup. When they see Nico do well, they tend to follow along. So if we can get her on, we think we can get it rolling.
That one spiked in there, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1. Line drive, center field, that gets down.
Nice.
And one hops against the fence. Ustaris is on her way to second. She's getting the wave. Here's the throw, and she is in there at third with a triple.
And it's a no-doubt triple. When Nico reaches the fence, there is no doubt about it. She is going for 3. She's one of the fastest kids in the league. I said several times that the track team must be fawning over her, but they're not going to touch her because she's just such a talented softball player. She was thinking triple all the way there. Wasn't even a doubt.
She didn't even look. I mean, she didn't even look over to right field or to the center field to see what was happening. She just charged and went the whole way.
And that's exactly the spark they needed right now. Haley, hopefully she can get one of her classic opposite field singles here.
As she is hit by the pitch. That one might leave a mark, but she'll walk down to first base. And right now, I do see, I believe, is that Allie Wilson in the bullpen for the Clockers?
Yeah, it looks like sophomore Allie Wilson is warming up in the bullpen. Allie had a great year this year for the JV team as their primary pitcher. So Allie has been working out with the varsity now that the JV season is over, and she looks pretty good right now, throwing a lot of strikes over there in the bullpen. So we'll see how short the leash is for Holly.
Here comes Ava Vendetti, a freshman, a 4.05 average on the season. She shows bunt, pulls it back, and Usaris will come to the plate on a pass ball, and Ashland immediately cuts into the lead. It's 4-1.
Yeah, speed kills, right? Nico, get yourself on third after a beautiful triple. Buterman gets hit. She's now in scoring position for our RBI leader in the season, Ava Vendetti.
Just like that, four-run leads cut down to 3. The runner scoring position and no outs.
Yeah, that's the key, right, to this team. If they can string some hits together, obviously we only got 1 hit so far, but Ava's the kind of kid that's going to keep it rolling. And then after her, there's still kids who can really put their bat in the ball in this lineup. And if they can get rolling, we can put a crooked number here up in the first and turn this thing back around.
One ball and 1 strike on Vendetti. Buterman's now at second base. That one is fouled away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Vendetti's fighting here. I wouldn't be shocked if she sees a little off-speed pitch right now. We'll see.
She does have an amazing fastball for a softball pitcher. Balls are coming in there very quickly.
And she strikes out Vendetti on a high fastball, and there's out number 1.
Very, very smart pitch placement there. To go down the middle, go low, and then put one up shoulder high.
As Caroline Kyra digs in and takes the ball in the dirt. Kyra, also a Tri-Valley League All-Star, 471 on the season.
And she doesn't strike out much.
Hasn't struck out at all.
She hasn't struck out at all.
Hasn't struck out at all.
I guess that's not much.
She does put her bat on the ball.
She's ahead 2 balls and no strikes here from Beckett. Pitching quickly, and that one shot foul off the dugout, and it's 2-1.
Yeah,
she put a little zip on that one. That was a little extra velocity there.
It was. If she gets the ball in play, you got the second runner on second base over to third, and then a pass ball or a hit, and you cut the lead down to 2.
Yeah, I think a single here scores Buterman. She's got tremendous speed. I think she's got tremendous speed in the base paths. Caroline could put it into the outfield. I would think she's going to be thinking score all the way.
Here comes the 2-1. That's a line drive into right field, a base hit. Buterman's getting the wave. The ball bounces around. Kyra will dig for second, and she's in there standing up. An RBI double, and the Clockers get another run. It's 4-2.
That was a beautiful hit that just sliced right down the first base line and into the out of bounds territory. And it was a long way for the right fielder to go to get to it. And Caroline just kept the motor running and just made it to second clean. Beautiful hit.
Really nice hit down the line for her. And look who's up, Jacob.
As she fouls it back, Lorelei Collette doesn't need any introduction, but maybe we'll give her one. 393 on the season, 5 home runs. 4 of those happened in the last 2 games of the regular season. We were here for all 4 of them.
Yeah, Collette is absolutely on fire. Probably the hottest hitter on the team right now coming into the tournament. She's 10 for her last 12 with 4 home runs, 2 doubles, and 2 triples. you know, my fear for Lorelei is that the layoff might cool her off, but we'll see in her first at-bat what she can do.
Here's the 1-1. That's a ball low. Got to mention she is the tying run here, so if we get one of her signature home runs, could instantly flip the script here in this first inning. 2-1, a swing and a miss.
Took a big hack at that one. She took a real big hack at that high hard fastball. You know, the key here is for not thinking about what she's been doing, right? And just to go out there and look for line drives.
Here comes a 2-2. That one's popped out of play. She'll get another one.
Fought that one off nice. She got a little off-speed pitch. Lorelei waited, and I don't think she loved it, so she knew it was going to be in there, so she decided to foul it off. Not a bad piece of hitting there by Lorelei to stay alive, looking for her pitch.
2-2 once again. Strike 3. Ball was dropped behind the plate, but it is strike 3 for Beckett, and there's 2 away here.
I certainly hope we get that low strike. I don't, you know, that one looked like it was at the knees, probably a strike, but it was definitely a little bit lower than we would have wanted to see.
Yeah, it was one of the lower pitches that was been called a strike so far this game, and maybe that is the very bottom of the zone that they got called.
Ruby Kazadian bats here with 2 away. 1-0 is swung on and missed. 351 during the regular season for Kazadian.
Yeah, Ruby's another kid who has a ton of power. If she gets a hold of one, this thing could go.
Swing and a miss. A pitch that disappeared on her, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
It would be a shame if we leave this runner stranded on second base with 2 of our best hitters up.
That's a ground ball. Nice play at third base, bobbled by DeJulia. The throw is in time. A nice play to recover and end the first, but the Clockers get 2, and it is 4-2 after 1.
Yeah, a productive inning for Ashland, right? Chip away, can't lose confidence after letting up 4 in the first. They come back and they're able to get a good 2 runs off a couple nice hits. Get a triple by Eustaris, manufacture one on a pass ball, and then Kyra hits a double to score another run. And next thing you know, they cut it in half. So I think that they should be playing with confidence right now. What the critical thing for me right now is for Holly to come out and get first pitch strikes. Has to get ahead of the count and limit the free passes, or else this could be another long inning.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach had a good conversation with Holly on the bench, talking about the game and expectations and settling her nerves and talking about, you know, how to approach this right now. And we did see you said another pitcher warming up in the bullpen over there. So I think that you know, Coach is going to watch what happens here the first couple of batters and do what he has to do to keep Ashland in this game. But coming back and scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning puts a lot of confidence in the Ashland team. Being down 4-0, now just down by 2 runs, which is very little in a softball game.
Yeah, you know, like we said, we've got to stay the course here with this team. This team can hit. This team, you know, like I said, 4 runs seems insurmountable for some teams, but it shouldn't seem that way for the Clockers. The Clockers average nearly 10 runs a game, and if they can get those bats rolling and string some hits together, I expect this thing to be high scoring. So let's see if Holly can hold down the fort here in the top of the second.
Yeah, that's a team, the Clockers bat 100 points higher than Wayland in the batting average department. Wayland 271, the Clockers 373. As that's a first pitch strike. Back to the top of the lineup in Kiera Hines.
I know, Mike, Coach may have been listening to you talking about first pitch strikes and how important those are in softball and baseball.
Absolutely. There's nothing really more important, right, than getting ahead of the count. Now she's ahead and going to.
Nice change up there. Came with fastball right down the pipe, go to the changeup, get the batter way out ahead of it. The only thing better than being up 0-1 is being up 0-2.
Here comes the 0-2, and that one's popped up foul.
And now she can play around with the zone. You know, put a ball on the corners, not give something great to hit, and see if she can get the batter chasing for an out here.
It'd be huge to get the leadoff hitter. Here comes the 0-2. That's strike 3.
That's in there.
daughter threw all strikes in that at-bat.
That's a heck of a bit. That's a heck of a job there by Holly Cash. You know, you have the first inning where you're a little trouble. She's able to come back, get a little rest, and she came back with confidence, get ahead of the count, and that's exactly what we need out of Holly right there. If we can continue to see that, I like our chances.
Yeah, kudos to Holly for just coming back out and with that grit.
Finish the second.
Getting the first batter out.
As Eliza Goldman shoots one to second, and a nice grab from Buterman, and 2 very quick outs for Cashin.
That's great. Nice little play by Haley to go to her left. That ball looked like it was hanging on for an awful long time. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but Haley gets over there, makes the play, and now we got 2 for the dangerous Sophia Beckett, who comes to the plate.
Beckett walked her first time. Comes the first pitch. That one's outside.
I mean, you want to be at 2 outs, nobody on, with her coming to the plate. So this is the perfect situation.
Higgins on graphics.
Here comes the 1-0 from Cashin. That's a good pitch.
In there.
Dropped in there, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Louise disappears sometimes.
Yeah.
Jacob, what did you say Sophia Beckett's batting average is?
Came in .328 on the season.
So she's one of the lead hitters for Wayland.
As she flies that one back past third. Ustaris goes out and makes the catch. Over the shoulder grab for Ustaris, and a 1-2-3 second for Holly Cashin.
Nico does it again, right? We talk about having your best players make your best plays. She ends the first inning with a diving stop. She ends that one having to go backwards and make a really tough play. I thought that thing might have been a no man's land. When you've got speed like Nico at shortstop, she makes things happen for the huge third out of the inning.
It wasn't no man's land. That ball was perfectly hit in no man's land, but who else but Nico to go out and be able to make that play? That was amazing. Kind of reminded me of you, Mr. Kyra, and the nimbleness of...
I tell you what, so we joke, but back in the day, I was a nifty little shortstop playing for the Red Sox when I was 12 years old, playing, in fact, with Christopher DeJulia, whose daughter is playing third base today for the Walpole Warriors. You set me up pretty good for that one. Getting to watch an old friend's daughter play today as we say hello to a major supporter of Ashland Athletics, Mr. Kevin Anderson, our former athletic director, taking in this one today. Great to see him. Always got a smile on his face, and it's really nice to see Kevin taking this game today.
Yeah.
I think we've already got a front runner for, is it the Gobbler defensive player of the game?
The Gobbler defensive player of the game right now is certainly a Nico is definitely the top contender right now, having 2 big-time plays.
Yeah, I would love to see a play that beats that play out, because it'll be one for the ages. Because that one, I mean, he must have ranged back 15 yards.
I wasn't expecting. I thought baseball does.
To get that pop
I always heard
It helps when you have the best center fielder in the league playing shortstop.
Yeah.
And Nico's been moved too short because of some of the defensive substitutions that needed to be made.
That's a strike to Rebecca Kriegsman, who leads it off here, bottom third of the lineup for the Clockers. Kriegsman, 286 on the season for the senior. That one is shot to second, and a nice grab there by Kermelowitz. Just stuck her glove up and grabbed it.
Yeah, nice piece of contact there by Rebecca, who does typically get her bat in the ball. That's one of my favorite things about Rebecca. Another really tough strikeout. She puts her bat in the ball there, makes a nice play by the second baseman.
Quinn Herder digs in and takes the strike. Another senior, 270 on the season.
Yeah, that last play, the second baseman going up about as high as she could and kind of snow-coned that ball almost out of her glove, but she was able to hold on to it. Good play there by the second baseman.
Beckett looks like she's bringing a little extra oomph this inning. She's throwing harder than she did in the first. She may be one of those pitchers who picks up steam as she goes because she's got some great velocity. And the Clockers right now are having a hard time catching up.
Yeah, as Herder's down 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a ground ball to first base, and a very easy play there for Kelsey Kaufman. Just steps on the bag to her left and is 2 away.
Yeah, look like that pitch was low. Came in very low, but, you know, again, get the bat on the ball, get the ball in the infield, but unfortunately went directly into the glove of the first baseman for an easy out.
Like,
As Maddie Sanders
gonna be
pops
good.
one into right. That will get down for a base hit.
That's actually
That's
Holly
Holly
Cashin.
Cashin. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
that's okay. Holly Cashin is helping her cause right there, Jacob. Holly helping her cause with the opposite field single. A nice little piece of hitting by Holly. It looks like we're going to have a runner coming into the game for Holly. From a distance, this looks like it might be Sophie Connors, but I'm not positive.
Does look like, yeah, that is number 10, Sophie Connors,
so
the sophomore.
probably a good runner. So like when
And
they
now
brings back to the top.
yeah, back to the top with Nico
Obviously,
Staris, who tripled and scored her first time up.
They switch out on any
It was a ball that got into the right center field gap.
So she's good at stealing bases.
Sure would like another triple here from Nico. Cut this lead down to 1.
That's a strike. Connors is stealing, and she walks in there standing up with a stolen base. Kind of nonchalant there.
That was a little bit too close for a stand-up move to second
So, like, there
base.
you go.
I'm
When they
surprised
do that,
there
and
wasn't
they
a
can do it
slide
on
there,
the
but she made it in, so
That's something that
can't criticize it.
Nico Osiris lines it into center field for a base hit. Connors will stop. Osiris gets the wave, and Connors did not see the stop sign, and she is out at the plate.
See, Sophie ran through the third base coach's stop sign. Coach Larry Sasso was clearly giving her the stop. She must not have seen it. Unfortunate situation there to run into the third out at home. Coach Sasso cannot be happy with that. His arms were up about as high as I could see, but Sophie was determined to score, I guess. And that wastes Nico's nice hit. We could have had runners on second and third, but nonetheless, got to stay positive here, and the Clockers are going to come out and have to play a little defense.
And both pitchers toss a scoreless second inning after we saw 6 total runs in that first.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, that play. I mean, there was no chance of, I think, anybody, even if it was Nico, running or making it to home. The ball was not hit out far enough, and it was an easy play down to the catcher to get the out.
for me at least.
But, hey, mistakes happen. Like you said, we're only down 2 runs.
As we enter the third inning here, as Cashin will come back to the mound.
Jeff will probably use it.
And Kelsey Kaufman will lead off. And last time she was up, the outfield was playing her very deep. She does have a home run on the season. And we'll see if they play her deep again.
Yeah, I imagine they probably will. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to come in on a ball than to track one from a distance. So we'll see where the outfield is playing Kaufman. She's got a little power, but at least she's up here to lead off. So a big hit will have minimal damage.
As they do back up.
Let's see if Holly can continue throwing these strikes in there. The first inning, the balls and not being able to get the ball into the zone is what hurt her. Second inning, she came back and was throwing everything into the strike zone. And now we'll see how she does in the third.
First pitch is outside to Kaufman. We'll see Kaufman, Calabro, and DeJulia here in the third. Here's the 1-ball, no strike pitch. Ground ball, oh, back to the mound. What a snap there by Cashin. Wow. Just sucked the glove up. And there's out number 1.
Yeah, that ball was hit back at her pretty hard. A little defensive play there by Holly. Helps her own cause, makes a nice grab over the first for out number 1. That one could have been dangerous. That was
would have. Yeah, I think it was either catch the ball or take a ball to the face mask.
Yeah, that's why you wear the mask, right?
Right at her face, yeah.
But we get a quick out, which is great.
Sure, that woke Holly up a little bit there, having that ball come at her that hard. Right back with the strike.
Swing and a miss there by the 5-hitter. Calabro? Is that his?
Calabro. Bro.
0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored as she takes the ball there. Even in the count.
Yeah, this feels like a really important inning right now, especially with 3, 4, 5 coming up for the Clockers. If we can get out of this with no damage, maybe string a couple hits together for Vendetti, Kyra, Lorelei, Colette, and Ruby. to get ourselves the lead.
2-1 is upstairs.
Go battle!
And now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Let's battle!
Calabro looking to walk for her 2nd straight time.
All right, here's what we'll see if Holly can really bear down here and throw a couple of strikes when they're really needed.
And she will not. It is ball 4. So a 1-out walk here for Wayland.
All right.
That is the 4th walk issued by Cashin.
All right, no damage here.
Here's Caitlin and Julia. It's 1 for 1 with a single. That's a ground ball off of Cashin, and it rolls to third base, and Colette does not have a play anywhere. And we'll see if she's okay. I don't know if that got her in the glove.
That looked like it went right off her foot. That thing came back hot. That's 2 in a row that came right back to the pitcher. I'm assuming that this does not count. I would hope this does not count as a coach's visit to the circle. As you know, you only get 2 an inning, or else you have to take your pitcher out. But Coach Pam Curtis comes out to check on her pitcher to make sure she's okay. Holly looks like she's fine to keep going, but that was a real hot shot.
It was. That's a couple times this inning that it's happened. So now 2 on here for Wayland with only 1 out. And Olivia Kermelowitz will bat next. An RBI walk her first time up. That one's pop foul.
Another really big situation here, right? Runners on first and second, get a runner in scoring position here with only 1 out in what is already a 2-run deficit for the Clockers. Got to make sure we limit the damage here in this inning.
I know, and Jeff is adamant.
Getting a big out here is absolutely critical.
She's ahead here. Nothing in 1. That one's upstairs.
Okay, I'll go tell him. Oh, okay, thank you.
Looks like Eustaris and Biederman are playing double play depth to see if they can possibly turn 2 up the middle, which would be the ideal situation, but I'll just take a pop-up.
Here comes the 1-1. That one is a pop-up into center. Herder goes to her left and makes the catch. Runner will hold at second base. Calabro does not test the arm, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, that's big out there. Quinn coming, tracking that ball all the way. She had it. Nice, easy play for her in center field. So hopefully we can get out of this without any runs scored with runners on first and second.
The freshman Sophia Gork will bat. 1 for 1 with an RBI single her first time up. First pitch is popped up behind the plate, and Vendetti can't get there, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Vendetti gave an honest effort. She wasn't hit.
Yeah, that was very out of reach.
Jeff's got it, but it's
Maybe
not
Tony Pena might have had that.
Maybe, maybe diving.
No balls and 1 strike. Cashin ahead of another hitter here. It's been a trend so far these last couple innings.
That was
Quickly
a nice
nothing in
pitch.
2.
That was a beautiful pitch.
Good pitch there by Holly. Getting ahead 0-2 here.
He's watching on the
Again,
slow.
get out of this inning with a ton of confidence with our good hitters coming up the plate. Let's see if Holly can make this thing happen.
Didn't show anything.
No balls, 2 strikes. That one outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
All right, she has a couple to give, so now you want to play around with the corners. You want to get the batter to bite at something. It looks like a strike, then drops out at the end. And then if that doesn't work, you got to go back and pitch strikes.
That one is upstairs, so now 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Gork.
Yeah, really important not to lose this batter, especially since you'd like to see the bottom of the order coming up in the 4th.
Here comes the 2-2 from Cashin. That's a line drive into right field for a base hit. They're going to send the runner to the plate. Here's the throw. It's not in time. And Calabro scores from second on an RBI single, a second RBI single from Sophia Gork.
Nice piece of hitting there by the freshman, right? Freshman Gork puts it to the opposite field. Sanders is able to get it in a hurry, but there's really no chance at that with the runner moving on the hit. Scores the run, and now it is a 5-2 lead for Wayland.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to get a pinch runner here because Gork is the catcher.
Ashland kind of lucked out there. The runner at second base didn't go to third on that throw to home, and I think she could have made it there, but they held her up and she didn't go. And which is very fortunate for Ashland not to have somebody sitting over there at third base.
Yeah, I agree with you, George, because what typically would happen, right, is she'd be on third, and then we'd have to make the decision of whether or not we're going to try and throw down and get the third out at second base, because it would be an automatic steal with the first and third situation.
Right. With a runner in easy scoring position.
So Vivian Brevard will bat. 0 for 1, takes a strike. That is Eden Parker, who comes in to run for Gork.
All right, Holly's really got to buckle down here and just close this thing out here. First pitch strike certainly helps.
Comes the 0-1. That one's low. Good stop by Vendetti, and it's 1-1.
It feels like every inning right now is critical.
Yeah.
1-1 is up and away, so 2 balls and a strike. Top of the lineup, lurking on deck. Here comes the 2-1 from Cashin. That one is low, 3-1.
Yeah, I think that was like just outside. So it was a nice pitch, a good off-speed pitch, but it just fell a little bit away. Now she's in a full.
She already has walked 4 here. 3-1. That's a strike, and the count is full.
Go get her, Holly!
Looking to get out of it.
3-2, 2 outs here. You know the runners are going to be moving on the pitch, so a single is absolutely going to score 1 run. Hopefully doesn't score 2.
Here comes the 3-2. Line drive to first, and it's snapped by Kyra.
Beautiful play. Beautiful, quick play to go to her left side, snag that, and just step on the bag. Caroline just got the team out of that inning beautifully. We got another, also a great pitch by Holly to put something in there to force that ground ball, count on your fielders to do something with it, and Caroline came through. Just picked that up, stepped in the bag, and out of the inning.
I think she actually snagged it in the air, George.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, that ball was snagged in the air. she almost.
So she got the double play.
No, it was well,
which wasn't necessary. So we got 4 outs that inning.
Yeah, she made the catch in the air. A la Andy Moog, it looked like.
Yeah.
Making that play and saving as a goalie. I don't know much about hockey, so he was the only one I could think of. But yep, great to get out of that inning.
Yeah, then she naturally stepped in the bag, which just is like instinctually to step on the bag
Just
when you got
in
a runner
case.
there, just in case. And maybe they can take that extra out and carry it over to the next inning.
So the bottom of the third, number 2 hitter Haley Buterman, who got hit by a pitch first time up, will bat 2, 3, 4 here for Ashland against Beckett in a 3-run game. The way we've seen this offense perform these last couple games, there's no doubt that 5 runs is well within reach.
Absolutely, and you know, obviously they got to just string some hits together right now. This can't be understated how big this inning is, right? You've got is this Haley leading off? Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
yes.
so you got 2, 3, 4 coming up right now. Haley gets on base and they can make some magic happen because she's got speed.
That one's upstairs. They got a couple runs in response to the 4 scored by Wayland in the first. They look to respond even stronger here in the third. 1 ball, no strikes. That one's low, 2 balls and no strikes. So it does seem Beckett can be a little bit wild at times with that velocity. We saw her hit Buterman the first pitch she threw it to her. 2-0, Buterman showing bunt, pulls it back and takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. I've noticed the Clockers do a lot of the fake bunting when they get ahead in the count. Double-edged sword, right? Now you lose that pitch.
That's a pop-up to first base, and no one's going to get there. Just a little jog there from Kaufman at first base. It did seem like it could have been an out there.
Yeah, first baseman just held up there and stopped running when it seemed like she was had a good beat on it.
Yeah,
And Sophia Beckett was in a dead sprint going for it. So full effort by Beckett there, unable to get to the ball. Gives Haley another life. Hopefully she can get a little opposite field single.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes here.
Gotcha.
That's a shot, but it's just foul. That was a little more effort from Kaufman. She tried to make that play, which looked a lot harder.
Just what I was looking for right there. That opposite field hit from Buterman, they're having a hard time getting around on Sophia Beckett. But if they can make contact, it's going to go. Keep this right fielder busy. I think Haley can put one right down the line. Let's see if she can sneak one past Kaufman.
Yeah, we've seen almost every ball put in play towards the right side of the field as that one rolls in there, and it's a full count.
Get it back, Haley!
I think it was just said earlier, I mean, this team could just, the Ashland team could just start racking up runs. I think the game I announced with you, Mike, it was a very low-scoring game going maybe to the 4th inning or the 5th inning, and Ashland put up like 9 runs. So, you know, muddling along, and then just bang, they break out.
They have a tendency to have that one big inning a game. I'd love to see it happen right now.
3-2, ground ball to second base. Nice play there from the second baseman, Kermelowitz, and there is one away.
Yeah, unfortunately, that ball hit just to the right side of the second baseman. It was kind of an easy play to get that out. It was just unfortunate placement on that hard ground ball.
Yeah, hit the ball hard. Just couldn't find the gap. Nice play by the second baseman. So let's see if Ava can get us going.
Vendetti struck out her first time as she's late and fouls one away. And we've seen Beckett pitch almost a complete game every single time she comes out. So if you're going to have that big inning, it's going to need to be against her.
Yeah, she's a talented pitcher. I mean, anytime you get a kid who goes 500 strikeouts on their career, you know they can bring it. I'm impressed by her velocity. She changes speeds a little bit. She really does a great job in the circle. So hits are going to be tough to come by, but you've got to get this part of the order to get some.
Here's the 1-1. That one is low. 2 balls and a strike here on Vendetti.
You saw the change of speeds there.
Definitely.
She does pitch with such high velocity. The batter, you have to get the bat on the ball, just make contact. And the speed of that pitch is going to help you get that ball, either hard ground ball or get the ball out of the infield.
It's now 3-1 to Vendetti. Beckett hasn't walked anyone yet.
Got any plans for the weekend?
She did walk 86 batters in her 19 appearances this season.
Oh, yeah.
That is a low strike,
I've
and
seen
it's
some
a full count.
That is a really low strike, and that's the second really low strike that he's called against the Clockers.
That's why I can't do Sunday.
It's an interesting strike zone.
Here comes a 3-2. That one is ball 4, no doubt about that one.
Actually, based on what you just said, Mike, that ball came in so low, and I'm thinking, is he going to call that one a strike?
I may have taken off the headset if that one was called a strike. Thankfully, it wasn't, and we've got a pinch runner in here. This looks like junior Lexi Maloney. Lexi Maloney in to run for catcher Ava Vendetti.
Yeah, we saw a good game from her in the final game of the regular season. Had a couple hits. And now she'll take over the running duties. Caroline Kyra will bat.
Lexi's a threat in the base pass. Lexi is one of the fastest players in the team, probably the second fastest player, maybe third. Eustaris, Buterman, and Maloney all have great speed.
Kyra grounds that one to second base. Kermelowitz goes to second for the force out and back to first, not in time. Oh, and they're actually going to call Maloney safe. Wow, the umpire is calling her safe. I don't know if was the foot off the bag or was she in the way?
I'm not sure of the exact call. I saw Lexi slide in. I did see the safe call. I don't know exactly what the call is, but the coach is coming out to question it. We're obviously not going to get any kind of explanation, but his...
Yeah, unfortunately, no umpire microphones connected to any speakers out here. We can't hear an explanation.
Yeah, we won't hear it. And then I've yet to see an umpire, a coach come out, speak to the umpire, and have a call overturned. So I'm sure we're going to have runners on first and second here.
Yeah, we saw that time when we did baseball together where the umpires just didn't know what to call. They got together and then one of them called an out and then changed his mind.
So then they reversed it and they changed their mind again.
Exactly.
The original call. It was crazy.
Here's what I will tell you. He's given her time, and this is enough time. The umpire needs to tell her to get back to the dugout and get this game going. That's enough talk conversation. He had way more patience than I would have had I been out there, right?
Well, I'm surprised you can go to the cameras in New York.
But nonetheless, we've got now runners at first and second for Colette. Big spot right now with 2 outs. Oh, no, sorry, only 1 out.
Only one out.
Like that.
She did strike out looking
so,
her first time up and takes the ball inside. And once again is the tying run.
I have to say, putting Lexi there on first base and taking the runner was a brilliant move. I mean, she made it to second on a hard hit ground
As
ball.
that one is shot deep to right field, and it's over the head of the right fielder, and it skips over the fence for an automatic double. Maloney will score. Kyra gets to third, and another ball hit the other way, and Colette makes it a 5-3 game.
Yeah, the hot hitting Lorelei Colette continues to hit hot. So that is a absolute bullet, one hop over the right field fence. Just missing our camera. Thank goodness it didn't hit our buddy Harry there on the camera out here in right field. But we got a 5-3 game here with Ruby Kazadian up, 2 runners on scoring position with only 1 out.
Kazadian cuts and misses on a really fast pitch there from Beckett. I gotta say, Lorelei Colette is very, very strong. I mean, that is a hard pitch to get to, and she just smoked that thing. It nearly got out of here the other way. Kazadian grounds at the third. Oh, it gets by the third baseman. She comes to the plate, and Kyra is out. Again, now Kazadian will get down to second base.
Again, another running decision by the Clockers that serves to cost them. This is a situation where now we've run into 2 outs at home. Really unfortunate. Not sure why we're going there, but Coach either sent her or she went on her own. I'm not so sure what exactly happened. But
you can't really see everything at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. The net ball was not hit to the infield, and it was an easy throw to home plate.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw the ball going to first, then you may think about sending the runner.
Ooh, as Kriegsman is hit on the side there. Second time Ashland Clocker's been hit, and she's holding at that upper leg there. Hopefully she's all right. But I think that Kyra there at third base, it got by to Julia at third. She didn't have a play, and I think Kyra might have thought that ball was going to roll into the outfield grass, and then it was backed up very nicely by Kiera Hines at shortstop, and unfortunately, you know, it's just a tough decision there.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, but that's one of those situations where I think we've got to be talking. Again, I don't want to have a second guess the third base coach, but holding her there would have been really huge.
Yeah.
If it would have been, that play would have been tough at first base to get all the way across and get that runner out. And so there was no force play, so the thing to do would have been to hang on.
So Allie Wilson will come in and pinch run, and I don't know. I did see Coach Larry Sasso go talk to the umpire and write something down, so I don't know if Kriegsman is going to remain in this game on defense, but we shall see. As here comes Quinn Herder in a huge spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs. That one's upstairs. A walk could make it a 1-run game. So you've got to be selective in what you want to swing at if you're Herder.
Although we have no walks so far this game, right?
We have one. Vendetti walked earlier this inning. And the 2 hit by pitches as well, so we'll see. As that one's a cut and a miss. It's a ball and a strike here from Beckett. Let's at third, Kazadian at second. Wilson on at first, and it's 1 and 2 now to Herder. She's got to protect here. Do not want to leave the bases loaded and squander another opportunity.
Another very low ball coming in, called a strike again, right in the bottom of the zone.
As Herder swings and misses, she has to run to first base. There is no throw.
No play there, wow.
Herder will reach on a strikeout and a pass ball, and the runner, Colette, scores, and it's a 1-run game. Talk about a gift.
That is a huge gift for the Clockers there to reach on a drop third strike that sneaks past the catcher. Really heads up base running by everybody. You know, that's a situation where the catcher, all she had to do was go step on home plate, and she would have had the out, but she just couldn't get to the ball in time, and now it's only a 1-run game, still with the bases loaded with 2 outs.
There is Cashin. It's 2-0. Single to right her first time up, and it's pitcher v. pitcher here. And Ashland has a chance to flip this game in their favor here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Nowhere to put Cashin. She's showing bunt here.
so, yeah.
and takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Again, with 2 balls and no strikes, that's what they've been doing. They've been showing bunt.
I don't know why you would show a bunt with bases loaded and 2 outs, though. To me, if that makes no sense at all.
That is a swing and a miss. So now it's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think Cashin thought she struck out there. She started walking back towards the dugout. She does not have to do that yet.
And if you're not going to bunt, you're going to pull the bat back. You're going to
They're
get a chance
open
to
Saturdays
getting
and
a strike.
Sundays.
It's a good stop there from Gort behind the plate.
That's a huge stop right there.
Yeah.
Saves a run.
Yeah,
And now everybody's going to be moving. 3 and 2, 2 outs here in the
they've been doing the
bottom
Sunday
of the
thing for
third.
past
This is a
years.
huge
Only
situation
like
for the
in last couple
Clockers.
And the crowd is
Roaring. 3-2. It's fouled away.
everyone is
Good job by Cashin to stay alive and spoil it.
used to the Sunday, so people don't
Base
come.
hit would give the
And
Clockers their
sellers have
first
to
lead
rent out
today.
spots, so
Is that Allie Wilson? That's
That is Allie Wilson.
Allie
Came
Wilson
in for Kriesman. Yep.
And infield's a little bit of a stepping
So,
back
like,
a
there's
little
a
bit. A
small
little bit in.
thing
I
that
mean,
goes on
a
on
ball over
Saturday.
their head with
3-2. That's a fly ball into center field. And right at Calabro to make the catch. And Strand, the base is loaded, but the Clockers do get a couple. It is 5-4 after 3.
Yeah, it's 5-4 after 3. I can't help but be a little bit disappointed with a really bad base running decision there in that inning that cost them the potential for more runs. That's now two runs out at home plate, which certainly cost them. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt the Clockers in this one. They are now only down 1 going into the 4th in what has certainly been a tough game. Holly comes back out to the circle to see if she can shut them down, and she's got a tough part of the order coming up.
I mean, Holly, I mean,
the NHS
pitching has certainly
NHS,
changed since the first inning.
talent
She's
show.
buckled down quite a bit. She's throwing strikes, a lot of first pitch strikes.
Not here.
Forcing those balls down on the ground.
Yeah,
Fielders
the,
are coming through,
National
getting out
Honor
far.
Society.
So let's see if Holly can keep this up.
No.
And then we'll go and rely on the Ashland bats to keep doing what they're doing and try to get some of these runners in and minimize these running errors.
Like if
Yeah,
we
it
play
is
like
the-
everything that we
It's the
have
top
right
of the
now,
lineup here
it will be
for the
like,
Warriors.
I'd say like maybe
It's Hines,
like,
Goldman,
it-
and Beckett.
realistically only picking out like
against
the best
Cashin.
songs, I would say it's maybe like 30.
Hines is 1 for 2.
But it's only
Has struck
right
out.
now we're only doing
It
covers.
also has a single.
We're like trying to write songs.
So this is a big inning
we have
here.
to
Keep it a 1-run game. Get the bats back
on
up.
that. Yeah. Batteries?
Got to give Beckett the least amount of rest possible. She's also scheduled to hit in this inning, so if she can be the third out and have to go right back to the mound.
Okay.
I like what you're thinking. That would be great. To get a quick 1-2-3 inning here and force Sophia Beckett to get right back in the circle.
As Hines pops it up into right, back goes Sanders.
because,
Nice grab. Going to her right.
Members.
Just one away.
She's actually played a really
listen
nice
more
right
to, like,
field for the
indie
Clockers this
and
year.
then me and the
Limited
drummer,
action.
we
Maddie
listen
has
to more
split
metal,
time between the
and so,
JV
like,
and the varsity.
I'm,
But
like,
when she has had her opportunities
comparing,
and
like,
right,
the
she's made
stuff
some
that,
really nice plays.
our
Tracks
keyboards,
that one, and
vocalists
we're out number 1.
Right on schedule. That one is upstairs to Eliza Goldman, who's 0 for 2 with
The main
2
thing is to,
pop-ups
like,
to
actually
second
listen
base.
to what's supposed to.
Yeah, Haley's been
Yeah.
busy with her, so she should be expecting this one coming
Although
her way.
sometimes our lead guitarist,
Here comes a 1-0.
he like writes
That's a good pitch there.
He like writes a solo.
1
It's
ball,
like,
1
alright,
strike.
Can you guys like?
That's a spot to live right there. That's a tough,
But then
that's a tough
he
pitch
doesn't
to
like
hit.
say. He doesn't
If
say
she can
what
live in
key
that
it
area,
is, what
we can
the
maybe get out of this one
idea is. It's
quickly.
just a solo.
Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there.
That's that area
One
you're
strike
talking
away.
about. Put it right exactly where she put the last pitch, and that's the pitch that works.
Chance to get 2 quick outs here in the 4th. Beckett on deck. Here comes the 1-2 from Cashin. It's a ground ball, slowly hit to third. Collette will charge. Here's the throw, and it's not in time. That ball was hit into no man's land in the infield, and it's an infield knock for Goldman.
Yeah, Lorelei took a nice charge at that. That was just hit too soft. Not going to have a chance. I think the only way they possibly would have had a chance at that one is if maybe Nico was in the circle and she was able to sneak away. We saw her do that the last game. And unfortunately, this brings Beckett up with a runner on base.
Get two
Yeah,
here.
very lucky there that that ball went where it went.
She takes the ball 0 for 1 with a walk.
Hopefully Holly keeps her head in there. That's, nothing to do with her. She pitched the ball the way it should have. Ball was on the ground. It just went to a spot that was impossible to get to.
That's a good pitch there. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Beckett. Goldman on at first.
What a change from the first inning for strike percentage in terms of pitches by Holly now.
Good pitch, but just missed, and it's 2-1.
Love to know where that one missed.
I think it was a little outside.
Yeah, a little outside.
From here. It was hard to tell from this angle.
Yeah, we don't have the best of angles, but it looked pretty good from my vantage point.
The Wayland Warriors run just about the same amount as the Clockers as Beckett takes a strike that looked a little more outside.
Wow, that was
did that look like the same pitch?
Yeah, well, it looked like it was a much worse pitch to me actually. But flip a coin back there, and you get a strike on that one.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Goldman is 4 for 4 on steals this season. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to third, and it gets under the glove of Collette into left field. And Goldman will stop at second.
Yeah, that one's going to go
that's
down
too
as an
bad.
error on Collette. That's a tough one through the wickets, and that gets now runners on first and second with only 1 out. Again, you gotta limit mistakes, and the Clockers have not done that today.
Yeah, and this is the big hitter in this lineup, Kelsey Kaufman. Strikeout and a ground out, though, for her so far.
Up, Holly.
Yeah, that's too bad. That would have been an easy out. It was a sharply hit ball to third. They could have got over to second base.
You guys get like
Easily to get that force. But sometimes the ball just
for,
bounces
like,
a funny way.
Non-sports things that you have to record.
Comes the first pitch to Kaufman.
yeah,
That one
so-
is upstairs.
She probably, I don't know how
It's ball 1.
she's been doing it for you guys, but like for Luis and I, she'll text us.
Ah, okay.
Only 1 out
It's
here.
like non-sports related. So
Yeah, another dangerous situation for the Clockers. I feel like we've had runners on first and second with 1 out almost every single inning so far. I just feel like it's been a constant thing that they've been dealing
So
with.
if
Holly's
you're not doing
continually
that,
having to get herself out of jams,
Yeah.
and this one really is not due to
How's it
her,
been so
right?
far?
A
Just email?
Yeah,
little nub single, and then an error.
Kaufman fouls that one back on
I
a
have
2-0
her
pitch.
number. I have
Now 2-1.
hers and Paul's.
We haven't had a very
scars.
clean inning yet, besides that last inning. It's been a lot of traffic for both sides, really.
Barbara.
A lot of pitches for both pitchers.
And Jeff too.
It has, and other than that first inning, the Wayland has not done a whole lot of scoring, but
Yeah.
just
Offered
lots of base runners.
week before, days before.
2-1, ground ball to short. Nice play by Ustaris. Gets the lead runner at third. Great IQ to go there. That's all they get, but there is 2 away.
Yeah, really nice play again by Nico over there at short. She's been fantastic at the shortstop position so far today. A nice assist, making a good, smart play to go over to third to get the lead runner. Not really a chance for getting 2 there.
But a smart
So
play
far
by
I've
Collette,
been,
not trying to
orienting
throw it
on
across the
the,
field to go to first
Google
base and
Sheets.
potentially get an error. So
Schedule.
yeah, she twitched a little bit and was
But,
thinking about it. She
yeah, she
stopped
also
herself.
usually,
Very smart
emails us.
fielding play by both of them.
Yeah, great move by Lorelai to
yeah,
eat that.
'cause
There's no chance at the double play.
No.
Yeah.
And all that could do is potentially hurt you at that point.
Yeah.
As Aubrey Calibro bats next, 2 walks for her in the 5-hole today. And it's
I hope so.
just missed.
That one just missed.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the good sign is we have Nico coming up to lead off the bottom of the 4th, and again, if we can get out of this one, we're still waiting for the bats to explode.
That is a high pop up to second. Buterman makes the catch. Hangs on. It was a snow cone grab there.
So now it's
And definitely one of the plays that raises your heartbeat a little bit.
Yeah, she made it interesting, but she made the play, so it almost popped
get
out of the
on?
glove at the last second, but Haley is able to hold on for the 3rd out. That's a huge out there, and again, we are going into the bottom of the 4th. down one, and it just feels like the Clockers are on the precipice of doing something good here. They've been the unfortunate. Unfortunately, they've made some mistakes that have cost them. And if they can come out with a clean inning here with Nico leading off, maybe this is when they can finally get the lead that has eluded them all day today.
Yeah, it seems like the calm before a storm, you know. I mean, they've slowly crawled back through these last few innings, and top of the lineup up here just had a scoreless half. It just seems like it's here.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right, Jacob, because, you know, when a team just hangs around and hangs around and hangs around, and I shouldn't even say that right now because Wayland's got the lead, it just makes things start to feel a little bit tighter, right? You start to tighten up at the plate, you start to tighten up in the field, you start to get a little nervous. But if Nico can lead off, even with the walk right now, just getting her on base is almost an automatic runner in scoring position. And let's try to wear down Beckett a little bit.
Yeah, and try to give a lead to Cash and see what she can do. You know, take a little bit of pressure off her. Obviously, there is pressure. You're playing in a preliminary round to get to the playoffs, but it is definitely a help to get a lead.
Yeah, one thing is for sure is these two teams are competitively matched up. I mean, I knew this was going to be a really hard draw for Ashland when I found out that they drew Wayland. When I was looking at those teams that were getting in with the under 32 with the 500 record, they were the one I wanted the least. I did not want to see Wayland. But nonetheless, we draw them, and it's exactly what I expected, a really hard battle today.
Yeah, but it is 2-0 here to Usaris. And 3-0. Close pitch.
I gotta say, I didn't know much about Wayland when I looked at their MIAA score, and their point differential is very low. So games they've won or lost, they haven't won or lost by a lot. Obviously, with a good pitcher, they're probably mostly low-scoring games, and they probably don't put a lot of runs up, as we're seeing here, except for that first inning. But also, their opponent rating was very low, so they faced some very poor teams, much lower than what Ashland had. So I actually expected, again, knowing nothing about Wayland, I expected Ashland to be able to get some runs on the board, limit the amount of runs that Wayland has. But with a pitcher like this,
as Usaris is stealing, that throw is way off. And Nico Usaris steals another base, 19 of 20. You count the regular season.
She is so fast.
George, the thing is I think that the key in softball, right, is if you have a kid who's around the strike zone that throws the ball hard, you're always in games, right? And that's what Beckett does. She's a really talented pitcher. And I would agree, they have struggled this year.
As that's another stolen base. So now that is stolen base number 20 for Usaris, and immediately nobody out, a runner at third base.
Yeah, so maybe I manifested that, right? I said get a walk from Nico, and next thing you know, she's over. She's in scoring position. 2 quick stolen bases. Again, base hit right now by Haley has to score a run. I'm sorry, even contact by Haley scores a run.
Contact scores a run with Nico.
It's 2-1 now to Buterman.
Yeah, contact with Nico. Now, Nico is a different runner on third base, right? Nico can take a risk. Nico can go and score on a ground ball to the infield right now.
Buterman's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and a ground out, and now it's 3-1 here. So Beckett on the verge of walking the first 2 batters of the inning.
I think Nico could score on a strikeout.
Get there before the pitch hits the mitt.
Exactly.
3-1. That's a line drive. It's off the glove of the second baseman. Buterman will get to first. Usaris scores, and this game is tied.
That's a big piece of hitting there by Haley. She puts the bat in the ball, hard contact, makes a tough play for the second baseman. We'll see how that gets scored.
They gave it an error.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It did hit her glove, but the ball came off hot. It's a nice piece of hitting there by Haley. And knocks in the run.
Here comes Vendetti, who chops that one back to the mound. Beckett will scoop it and only have a play at first. As Buterman gets down to second, that kind of works as like a sacrifice bunt there.
Yeah, it works. Obviously, you don't want Ava sacrifice bunting. You want her to hit, get a shot at the ball, but it does. She does a good job, right? So we've got 1 out runner in scoring position for Kyra coming up to the plate, who has put the bat in the ball twice today, 1 double, and then a fielder's choice.
And now you have a runner in scoring position with just 1 out, which is
Buterman thought about taking third there, but it's ball one.
Yeah, we've talked about Haley and her aggressive approach on the base path. Sometimes nerve-wracking to watch. We'll see what she does.
Here's the 1-0 to Kyra. That's a line drive to right field, sinking down for a base hit. Buterman's getting the wave. No, she will. She will get the wave, and she will score on an RBI single from Kyra, and the Clockers have the lead.
Yeah, big hit by Caroline, putting one the opposite way. She hangs on, takes it to right field, and we get the lead now for the first time this game. 6-5 here in the bottom of the fourth. Haley put the wheels on and scores from second. Let's see if we can keep it rolling here.
Yeah, it was a beautiful hit that just dropped in like right in front of the right fielder.
Colette will pop the first pitch foul down the right field line. So the Clockers started down 4-0 and have crawled their way back up to a 6-5 lead here in the fourth. And hopefully can get some more insurance.
Yeah, this is big here for Lorelei. Big spot.
Yeah.
That is high and deep to left, but it's sailing foul. And it didn't. It might not have had the home run distance. It was close.
I don't know. That was a monster hit.
That was pretty high. I don't know. I think that may have not been quite long enough to get over if it was fair. But man, that thing was a moonshot.
That's outside.
To be able to pull the ball like that with a pitcher that's throwing so hard is
It's the first time we've seen a batter for Ashland pull a ball this game, especially in the air. 1-2.
Jeff can figure
Swing
it out.
and a foul tip back into the mitt. So Colette will strike out for the second time. And Beckett gets out number 2.
Yeah, it's a big strikeout there for Beckett. Getting Lorelei swinging. And again, she's been swinging such a hot bat. To get her out here in this situation is huge.
Kazadian will cut and miss.
Ruby's taking big hacks today. Again, I've always talked about with her, I'd love to see her shorten that swing a little bit, especially against a pitcher with such velocity.
Becca looks like she's actually throwing faster.
As that one's roped to left, and it is foul.
That's foul.
Just down front.
Ruby found that off-speed pitch, right? And she was all over it. That was a perfect swing by Ruby there on that off-speed pitch. Waited on it and took it and pulled it. Just unfortunately, a smidge foul. That would have been a huge spot for Kazadian.
Now no balls and 2 strikes here. Kyra's on first. 2 away. Here comes the 0-2, and that's a check swing foul behind the plate.
All right, good job fighting off that strike.
Yeah, protects nice there, right? This is love to see her take one right up the middle here.
I mean, as long as it's not like restricting the camera.
As you said, like just a nice short stroke, nice quick stroke on these.
That is a hard grounder to short. Really nice play there by the shortstop Hines, and Kazadian is out number 3. Hit it hard, but nothing to show for. The Clockers do regain the lead. They get 2 in the fourth, and it's 6-5.
Yeah, a big inning for the Clockers to get 2 across. That was huge. You know, Nico works the walk, gets herself over to third base. Haley hits the hot shot that gets her on base and scores. Nico and Caroline is able to score. Haley from second on her RBI single. So really nice that the Clockers are able to take the lead. Now they've just got to settle down and keep it there, right? 6-5, going into the 5th. Holly has settled down nicely in terms of what she's doing, finding the plate, throwing strikes. First pitch strike's got to happen here, and the Clockers got to play some defense.
Yeah,
That's with Beckett out there, as you said before. She's very hard to get runs on, very hard to get hits on. So defense has to be out here, limit runs, shut this thing down. Maintain that lead and hopefully put a couple more runs an inning, or a couple runs going into later part of the game to nail this one.
And the Clockers did make a defensive change in the last inning. Allie Wilson is in left field, so Kriegsman is done after getting hit by a pitch. Hopefully, just need some ice on that.
Yeah, I really hope that Rebecca is okay, because as much as Rebecca is a great contributor on this softball team, she's got a huge day on Monday, as Rebecca is going to be traveling to the girls state tournament, MIA state tournament golf championship.
Oh, wow.
And she finished at a 4th place in the qualifier for that. She shot a 77 this past week. She's one of the best golfers in the entire state of Massachusetts, so I hope that she's good and fresh to be able to compete like she needs to on Monday.
She gets to go anywhere? Anywhere warm for it?
No, it's somewhere in
just-
Mass. I don't really know where.
Hey, Mike, I shot a 77 on the front 9 last week.
George, I've golfed with you before. You are much better than I am. But so I know that is not true because I would more be the one that shot the 77 on the front.
It's a 1-0 count here to Julia, and she swings and misses. 2 for 2, with 2 singles. She's had a good afternoon, also an RBI.
Yeah, she's had a good day in the field as well. She's made a couple of plays that Julia has stepped up today on a big day in the preliminary tournament.
That
Nice
one is
change up
outside.
there. Nice change up, but outside.
Yeah,
but
just
I love
missed.
seeing that change of speed.
Yeah, 2 balls and 1 strike as Cashin is pitching with the lead for the first time here this afternoon. Here comes the 2-1. That's a line drive to second, and Buterman makes the catch as she goes down to a knee.
I tell you what, so Miko has made this spectacular plays today, but Haley has made some really big ones as well. I believe that's her 4th out of the day, all on either a line drive or pop fly. So Haley's been a consistent presence over there at second, making some really good plays.
She definitely has.
It really has been impressive. You know, a lot of times people talk about second base as being kind of maybe the easiest place on the field to play, but when you're getting balls hit to you and you're making the outs like that's what's keeping the team in contention here. Beautiful playing there.
As that was a foul ball from Olivia Kermelowitz, who walked and flied out. 0 for 1 on the afternoon, and Cashin is ahead here. Here comes the 0-1. That's low, 1-1.
Testing the low part of that zone there to figure out exactly how low you can go.
I don't know. This little wireless thing's gonna go.
Here comes the 1-1 from Cashin. That's a pop-up. Vendetti will give it a look, and she makes the catch. Wow.
That's one of the toughest plays. That's one of the toughest plays in softball, I think, when a catcher has to go behind themselves like that. It really is hard to track that. Ava does a tremendous job on a high pop-up behind her. In a really important second out right there for the Clockers.
Yeah, you don't even see anyone in baseball make that play a lot, like in high school baseball. And it just goes to show you how good the pros are in both softball and baseball. They make those look easy, but definitely not the case.
Well, impressive too, she didn't flip the helmet off to get a better view or anything. She just got right up, was able to see where the ball was, and made the play on it, which was just a great catch back there.
So we have 2 outs here. And Sophia Gork will bat for the 3rd time. 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 RBI.
Yeah, Gork's having a great game right now for Wayland. She's been a killer. It's a big out.
A freshman batting in the 8 hole.
Yeah, their 8 and 9 batters can really hit the ball. I mean, the average-wise, I believe the 9 hitter is well over 300.
Yeah.
And then Gork has shown today that she is not an easy out.
She's ahead 2 balls and no strikes here. That is a strike, 2-1.
Love to see them get this 8 hitter here, so they have to get to the, start lead off with 9-1-2 coming up in the 6th. It seems like if you can position yourself in those spots, you give yourself a better chance.
Here comes the 2-1.
Nice pitch.
That's a good pitch, 2-2.
That was a beautiful pitch. Holly's going to fight back here after falling behind. She's got that second strike here with 2 outs.
Let's see if we can get this inning put away.
Here comes the 2-2 from Cashin. That's a ground ball to third. Collette makes the play and throws it to first in time. A 1-2-3 fifth for Holly Cashin.
They needed that one.
What an arm on Collette. She didn't even take a step. She just picked that ball up and fired it across the field like on a rope. What a play.
Yeah,
unbelievable how good she is over there at third base.
This one's gonna.
A nice play by Lorelei. She does. She zips it over there, and I think it can't be stated enough how huge it is to have that 1-2-3 inning. We talked about the fact that the Wayland team has been putting base runners on almost every inning, and for the Clockers to get out of that 1-2-3 is huge.
Yeah. I mean, you got a great fielding, great defense on the part of the Clockers, but Holly Cashin, I mean, coming in, having a little bit of trouble in the first inning, and then just shutting it down. I mean, she's just lights out there.
She's done a great job. She's going to, after that first inning when she let up 4 runs, she really has done a great job. And it says a lot
really
about
has.
Holly's character, right?
Yeah.
And we will get to see Allie Wilson, just her second at bat this season, and she is batting 1,000. 1 for 1. She came in for Kriegsman. We'll get the bottom third of the lineup here, and we'll see if they can set up top of the lineup here.
Yeah, losing Rebecca here is tough because Rebecca has been teetering around 300 all season long. She's a contact hitter. She puts her bat in the ball. Allie is a really tough spot. Has only, like I said, 2 at-bats all season long. Comes up here in a big spot here in the bottom of the 5th. But she's a great athlete. Allie is a tremendous contributor to the varsity basketball team as well. She's here stepping up and making a varsity appearance after spending the majority of the season on the JV team.
What year is she, Mike?
Sophomore.
She takes the first pitch in the dirt from Beckett.
The other thing that should be noted here is Allie has great wheels. So if she can get on base, she's another clocker with tremendous speed. So I'd love to see her even work a walk and get on base to make something happen.
That is low. Yeah, she's played in 3 games and has scored 4 runs.
Yeah, when she gets on base,
Oh, okay.
she's a weapon out there, right? She's a smart base runner. She's got tremendous speed. And the Clockers, try to manufacture runs with their feet.
You know, it should
Becca's kind
last.
of rolled 2 in a row here.
by the
Let's see
time
what's going
this-
on with her.
The top is over.
Yeah, here comes the 2-0.
So when they're
That
gone,
one's up and away.
That one's
3 balls,
tied.
no strikes, and I don't think she'll be having the green light
I
here.
do not expect her to get the green light. I think this thing is flashing red as hard as it possibly can. I don't think she's going to even think about it.
Here's the 3-0, and that is a strike. It was close.
That worked outside, didn't that?
That was an interesting one. Looked a little outside to me, but sometimes they get that automatic 3-0 call. That happens a lot, I believe.
Becca's up to 86 pitches. Is that, Mike, for a softball pitcher? 86, is that?
Not really.
Not a lot.
These girls can throw about 130 to 140.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they throw a lot of pitches. And unfortunately right now it's a 3-2 count because of that
Who's at home,
that
who's
really
hitting, and then
unfortunate
first base.
first
So if
strike
anyone
call.
is going to, like,
And Wilson will
Yeah.
strike out, so this close
wants to
call
catch that.
ends up costing an at-bat.
someone's
It sure
Oh,
does.
no.
Again, I feel like
What
we're
I like
probably
to
not
do
being
is just
kind
like
to the
to
umpire here because we don't have a great angle. But that was a terrible call that just cost a walk in a really big spot. And it's too bad when an umpire kind of takes the bat out of a kid's hands like that, and they don't realize. You don't realize what it does. It impacts the game tremendously. That should have been a walk.
Yeah, it can be tough because sometimes.
Quinn Herder is now down 0-2, a ground out, and she reached on a pass ball and a strikeout
for sure.
her last
It's a good
time up.
idea to always keep an eye on, like,
So
what's
yeah,
going
instead of a
on.
leadoff walk,
Because this
there's one down and it's an 0-2 count here, and Herder shoots it foul down the right field line. And it seems like there's been a lot of at-bats where they're just a tick late and just shooting it down this first base line.
Yeah, velocity is tough. Velocity is tough, especially when you're not used to seeing kids that have really good velocity.
As Herder does go down swinging. That is the 6th strikeout of the afternoon for Beckett. And there's 2 away.
Talk about Beckett there. I mean, Becca was down 3-0 on the first batter, came back, got the strikeout, then able to attack the second batter, get a strikeout. So as much as I'm rooting for Ashland, you have to recognize that Beckett is just a very good pitcher.
Very good pitcher. And Holly has put her bat in the ball twice today. Hard hit ball to center last time.
Yeah, 1 for 2 with a single, and it's a ball and a strike here from Beckett. Just about to enter the very late innings of this one in a 1-run game. Win or go home. It's a foul ball, 1-2 now to Cashin.
Yeah, winner of this game will have to travel to Walpole to face a tremendous Walpole team who is the number 5 seed, I believe.
I think you're right.
So that's outside.
They are.
Two balls and 2 strikes here on Cashin. And a pop-up back to the mound. Beckett has it and makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 fifth inning helped out by a close call by home plate umpire as we go to the sixth, and it's 6-5.
Yeah, both pitchers throw 1, 2, 3 innings in that fifth. So we only saw 6 batters total, and this thing is going to come down to, I believe, who can just play really good defense right now, because hits have been tough to come by. The Clockers certainly haven't strung a lot together, but neither have the Wayland Warriors, and let's see if Holly can keep this thing going. She's now going to come back right after she made the last out of the inning, which is never an easy thing to do. Settle herself down after that at bat, and just remember to stay ahead of the count. First pitch strikes have been critical for her, and they've got 9-1-2 coming up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at this bracket here, and if the Clockers do start making a push in the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of traveling. There's not really any close towns on this list. And I think the closest one might be maybe Milford, 17 seed, but...
Yeah, the Clockers obviously have to get on the road and travel, but I don't even want to think about that at this point,
Yeah,
Jacob. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This has been the battle that I certainly thought it was going to be. Wayland is... it's funny, you say they're 10-9, they weren't in the top 32 because maybe they didn't have as tough a schedule as some other teams. I think this is a really good team. I think they're one of the better teams we've faced, honestly, all year long. I think they would be competitive in the Tri-Valley League, and, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by their pitching. I think that they play pretty good defense. So getting out of this one is not going to be easy.
It's not, but it's just I think they rely a lot on the pitching. I think Ashland certainly has a much better hitting team, so if we could limit them from getting any runs, it'll be tough against Beckett, but I think Ashland is the team to be able to get a couple of runs on the board. So I agree that right now it's all about defense.
Yeah, got to play with the lead here. We can be able to take the lead in the fourth, hold on to it in the fifth, and now we got to hold on to it again here in the top of the sixth.
Yeah, and looking at the schedule for Wayland, they did have a lot of tough opponents. They played Bedford twice. They had Lynn Classical a couple times. Even they won against Framingham, Acton, Boxborough. So they did have definitely a run of teams that are in the playoffs in their respective divisions.
Which is weird though, because they have such a low opponent rating. It's different. It's much lower than what Ashland has. But maybe the other teams that were there, except for the ones you mentioned, are.
It's interesting how the whole thing works, because the Clockers also had a fairly low opponent rating as well, but the Clockers had to face 2 of the top teams in the entire state this year.
Right.
Obviously, Hopkinton and Norton beat them, but
that was a nice pitch.
you can only play against teams that you're scheduled.
Exactly.
You're right.
What matters most is how you show up on the day that you're playing the game, and I feel like when Wayland has shown up to Ashland, they've made it a battle.
Vivian Brevard is
Nice pitch there by Holly.
Cashy comes back from 3-0 to 3-2 here to the leadoff hitter, the number 9.
Okay.
Love this grit.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch.
Yeah.
That is a foul ball.
Yeah,
We'll do it again.
Right at the strike zone. That's what she needs to do.
Other stuff's going on, so.
We're at a point in the game now where you certainly can't start walking batters.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to force these balls into play, force ground balls, get the outs,
I had the hardest.
and then rely on your team maybe to put another run or two up, insurance runs up on the board.
3-2, ground ball to second. Buterman fields it, and the throw is in time.
Wow, that one was closer than I wanted it to be. Would have loved to have seen Haley attack that ball a little bit. She let it come to her, and that thing, with speed on the bases, that was way closer than you wanted, but nonetheless, Buterman makes the play at second base over to Kyra. We get 1 out, and the top of the order is coming up with nobody on for the Warriors.
Yeah, she's been money today at second base. Just gobbling up everything, whether little pop flies, ground balls.
Yes, looks like she was maybe thinking that she was so used to the pop flies and the line drive, just waiting for him, that I believe it's the first time she's gotten a ground ball to her.
Yeah, she's got everything today.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we did it on purpose, but George said that she's been gobbling them up. So that means that maybe she is a potential candidate for the Marathon Deli Gobbler Sandwich Defensive Player of the Game. Right now, the candidates are absolutely Eustaris and Buterman.
Don't have time to zoom in, but you can
Yeah, you might have to share it. We'll see.
You know,
It's 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter Hines, who swings and misses. And there's two away. Or,
I
sorry,
have seen
two
those
strikes.
sandwiches, so although they don't give the girls a free sandwich, we were still working on that. We actually haven't even asked them to, but I imagine Nico and Haley could share a sandwich and be plenty filled up by that gobbler sandwich over at Marathon Deli.
Comes the 1-2. Just missed. Hopefully an umpire shook his head there.
Yeah, a little high.
Yeah.
That was high. I'll be critical when I'm going to be critical, and I'll give him credit where credit's due. That's a good call. That pitch was up.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Hines, who's 1 for 3 with a single. And that one is upstairs, so a full count to back-to-back hitters to start the 6th.
Here we go, Holly, right
Important here for Holly not to lose this batter.
Comes the 3-2. Fouled away.
He's got it in there in the strike zone. You know, good defensive swing there by the batter. Fight that ball off in the top of the zone. And good job by Holly getting that ball in there.
You know, it's great to see you looking around. A nice little crowd here for the Clockers, the young ladies playing in this game. Haven't played in the state tournament game since at least.
That one is shot out to right and down for a base hit in front of Sanders. Just off the end of the bat there for Hines, and it's a 1-out single here for Wayland in the 6th.
Yeah, good placement there. What I was saying is they haven't played in the playoff game since we believe 2011. Unsure if it's potentially even 2009. I mean, this team want to turn around 15-5 this year from 6-13 a year ago and 0-20 2 years ago. But really nice to see a bunch of fans come out and support them. Really important for our community to get behind them.
Yeah, and I had to help give some directions to a couple Wayland folks. Didn't know where the field was. They probably thought they were in the wrong place because it is a bit of a walk.
It is a bit of a walk. Thankfully, we got athletic director Pete Connery that gives people a little bit of a shuttle when needed. But this is a haul to get down here.
The past couple graduations.
Nothing in 1 here. That's a ground ball. Shortstop. Ustaris goes to second. Gets the out there. Very close play. Wow. But that is the lead runner erased and is 2 away.
Yeah, Nico got the ball out of her glove in a hurry to make the flip over to Buterman, who's covering smartly. And again, another smart play by Haley, similar to Lorelei earlier in the game, to eat it and not even try to get the double play. That wasn't going to happen. But this brings up Beckett in another big spot here with 2 outs. And this kid can hit.
Right, but you know, good to be 2 outs with only a runner on first rather than
You're getting
having muffed that play up and having.
That is shot into center field. Herder makes the catch. Sticks the glove out and takes away extra bases.
Big play by the senior captain Quinn Herder in what will undoubtedly be the last home game of her career. We talked about how they're traveling. She steps up and makes a really nice grab there to end the inning. And the Clockers will definitely go into the 7th with the lead. And they've got a chance to build upon that right now as they are up 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, Herder jumped on that ball. I mean, as soon as that ball left the bat, she was moving, and she got right in front of it for that catch. Just a beautiful play there by her in center field. And now, you're right, now the bats, we're counting on the Ashland bats that we've counted on all season to kind of light up here and make something happen.
You talked about it, George. If there was ever a time for these bats to come alive and have an absolutely monster inning, this is the one.
Yeah, and we'll see the response from Beckett here. She just batted, and a disappointing out. We'll see if that affects her, her mentality. If she's disappointed, and we'll see if the Clockers can take advantage. She just had to take the helmet off and immediately go grab the glove.
And she has had a couple walks recently as well. And you wonder sometimes, too, if she's frustrated, if she'll overthrow, which will cause her to be wild. And as we know, a walk to Eustaris is basically a double.
Sometimes a triple.
Sometimes a triple.
And she does have a triple on the afternoon as well.
She does. Yeah, the only thing going against Ashland now at this time of day with the cloud cover is that things aren't quite as bright. And the ball is going to be a little bit harder to pick up. Maybe not for kids that are 16, 17 years old. Certainly for me and you, Mike. Having to hit a ball this fast coming in at you as the lights are dimming down a little bit.
That one bounces in there. It's 2-1. Ustaris has a triple, a single, and a walk. Been on base all 3 times she's been at the plate. And there's a head here.
I just saw a spider.
Becca's well aware, too, as she's pitching, that she's going after somebody that's a great hitter, which is, you know, causing her to...
That one is shot foul. And the count is 2-2.
Looked like that was off the end of the bat. And that would have been a potentially probably a broken bat in the majors. That was a tough one, tough pitch there that got Nico, and she's got to live to see another day.
Here comes a 2-2. That's a little blooper into right for a base hit. Usaris takes the turn. She definitely thought about second, but she will stay and reach base for the 4th time, her 3rd hit.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting opposite field. And if that thing scooted past the right fielder, there was absolutely going to be a double. And because Nico was thinking about it, but a smart decision. We've got the top of the order up here. Peterman's showing bunt early.
And she pulls it back and takes a strike. Buterman was hit by a pitch her first time, and she's 0 for 2 since then.
I would have to think that Nico will be thinking about running here. She's so fast. I haven't seen much out of this catcher's arm that she'd be close to throwing Nico out.
And she will run. That is a strike, and she is into second base very smoothly. And her 3rd steal today, her 21st of the year.
Yeah, there's no chance getting Nico there with that kind of a jump. The shortstop actually cut that ball off well before the bag. I don't think you want to risk and take 3rd here. Nico in scoring position, you know she's going to score on a single regardless, especially with Vendetti and Kyra coming up to the plate with no outs. No sense to run into one at 3rd.
Yeah, and Buterman is down 0-2 here. It's the 105th pitch from Beckett. And Buterman tries to lay down a bunt with 2 strikes and fouls it away, and that is strike 3.
Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love that decision there. But, you know, Haley's a pretty good hitter. She can put her bat in the ball, and now we have 1 out trying to bunt it with 2 strikes on us. Unfortunately, that's...
Yeah, I don't understand the logic there. I mean, she showed bunt and pulled back with no intention of bunting, and the ball was a strike. I could see doing it to get the runner over the second base, but if you show bunt, pull back, take the strike, and the runner doesn't get second base, you've just wasted a strike. And then to try to bunt with 2 strikes,
Yeah.
This is one of those games where I wish we had a press conference at the end to talk to Coach Sasso. Because lots of questions about some things that have happened. But we're up 6-5 with the runner in scoring position for Ava.
It's 3-0 here to Vendetti. 0 for 2 with a walk so far this afternoon. And we'll see if she is taken all the way here. I assume she will be.
That was a great eye there. That ball looked like it was spoke down the middle, and she like twitched at it and then held back.
But if someone's on
Shows bunt, pulls it back. Usaris will go to 3rd. The ball was dropped, and then it gets away. And Usaris is coming home, and she scores.
That's great.
Oh, no.
And now Vendetti is in a rundown, but she is safe at first base. That was very close on the other end of that play. But a run does score, as, like we said, Usaris generates a run by herself.
She certainly does. Usaris gets herself over to 3rd in the stolen base, is able to take advantage of the ball getting past the 3rd baseman and scores the run. Not sure what the umpires here are discussing, but there's definitely a conversation that's happening. The Wayland coach is out at the foul line. I wish we knew what they were talking about. I didn't see anything strange happen. I don't know if they're looking to call some kind of interference.
Well, Vendetti was certainly safe back at first base. The runner is out. So I don't know if... So they're going to call Usaris out at the plate.
Yeah, I was listening.
Coach Sasso is going to go plead his case.
I wish we could understand why they called her out, what she could have possibly done.
Did she run out of the baseline? I see him pointing at the foul line there.
That makes no sense. I mean, if she's, yeah.
I tell you what, I think he's been terrible today behind the plate, and this is a huge call.
Yeah, late in a game, too.
And again, this is a situation where an umpire is taking over. I probably shouldn't say anything. I don't know what the call is, but I did not see Nico do anything that looked even remotely close to being able to call her out. I wish we had an opportunity to take a look at a replay. But just the inconsistency back there with balls and strikes, and now making this kind of a call in a critical situation for the Clockers to take a run away from them. Coach Sasso,
You can read it, the body language of Coach Sasso.
I haven't seen him this animated all year. He certainly looks very angry. I
He's
don't
got to
want
watch
him
himself here. You do not want to get
make a
tossed.
mistake. Yeah.
Well, it should be. I mean, the three of us were watching this very closely, and none of us saw anything that may indicate that was an out.
She's back at the plate? Is that what they're saying?
Was that you do or you
I
don't?
mean, if they could question anything, it may have been the out at first base, just because the
Vendetti has to go back up?
because the umpires didn't have an angle on it.
So Ava walked.
I,
Didn't Ava? Now I'm confused.
I'm losing my mind here.
So what exactly?
I
Ava walked. Ava walked on 4 pitches. I'm watching. I don't
Ava
understand
doesn't
why
know what's
Ava
going
would go.
on either.
Ava walked on
Everybody's
4 pitches.
confused.
I mean,
It was-
they could have just let this run score and called it a day.
It was a 3-0 count. Ava walked on the 4th pitch. Eustaris tried to steal 3rd. Maybe he called a strike.
That was ball 4.
That was clearly
Yeah,
ball
the
4.
fans are screaming ball
It was
4.
ball
Did the
4.
umpire lose track of the count?
The
It was
umpire,
ball 4.
It was absolutely ball 4. This would be an atrocious call if they blow this one. What an awful call this would be if they sent her back.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
Unbelievable if they say that wasn't a walk. It was 4 straight balls by Beckett to Vendetti on ball 4. Nico took off to steal 3rd.
The throw got by, and she scored. The ball was still in play. It banged up against the fence there.
Don't get them in your shot.
That's just too close of a game to make that kind of call.
Too close of a game to not have a clue behind the plate is what it is. And you know, you got to get the best of the best doing these playoff games, and apparently they just didn't do that today.
I can't wait for the explanation of this after the game.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
We can't even comprehend what might have happened.
But to lose the count in a preliminary playoff game in a pivotal 6th inning is completely unacceptable by an umpire to not know. And then I have no idea why they called Eustaris out. But now we've got.
So they called the walk. Merloni will pinch run, but it'll for now remain a mystery on why Eustaris' run did not count at the plate. So it's 6-5, and now there's 2 outs.
2 outs, 6-5, but Kyra is up and she has 2 hits today.
The fans were angry, the coaches, the players, all dissatisfied. That one is a ball to Kyra. There seems to be like a new energy here from the Ashland bench.
There should be a new energy. Let's see if Caroline can energize them even more with the base hit.
I'll point something out, so too. The field umpire was playing down first base. He was confused as where he should be, and he actually had to run out to the position between first and second base as the play was happening, because he wasn't in the right place. I don't understand what's happening with these umpires.
High school umpires never cease to amaze you. That one's lined into right field for a base hit.
Lexi's going to get the 3rd.
Merloni will take the turn and head for 3rd. The throw is cut off, and she is in there.
Kyra is having a game today. What do you think, Mr. Kyra?
You know, I'm proud of this kid. It's her 3rd hit of the day. Again, it's great to see 3 opposite field hits for Caroline today, and that's a big spot because now it does bring Lorelei back up with the runner on 3rd base and 2 outs. It looks like Sasso is going to pinch run for Kyra, which I think is a tremendous move to bring some speed on the base path. So as we know, Caroline does not have the best wheels. You're bringing in Taylor Koch right now to run for her because she can re-enter, right? So you have a re-entry rule.
Yep.
This does not take Caroline out of the game. I love this move by Sasso, bringing in senior Taylor Koch after Caroline does her job. Now you've got speed on the base path on first. We're thinking about a steal here to get runners in scoring position for Lorelei.
Yeah, and what a spot for her here. She's been up pretty much every time with runners in scoring position. Has struck out twice, but did have a rope double. That one is lined to first, and it's foul. It's a foul ball. It was dropped by Kaufman, but it is foul.
Very lucky there.
I'm just thankful he got that one right because she did touch that ball in foul territory, which kept the ball foul. I was wondering what he was going to do, But we did get that one right. So kudos to the Blue for making the right call.
Ashland really needs a base hit right here with that runner at third and that atrocious call to stop Nico from scoring. I mean, a base hit here is critical.
I'd love to see Taylor try to take second to see if she can draw and throw and manufacture a run from third.
That's a ground ball to second base. Play is made by the second baseman Kermelowitz to end the sixth inning. A wild call takes a Clockers run off the board, but they are 3 outs away from securing a trip to the round of 32.
Yeah, not only does it take a run off the board, but it also results in a mystery out.
Do you have any theory at all, like what that? I mean, because she can't leave the base early because it was a walk, so it wasn't like.
I legitimately have no idea. I feel like I've watched a lot of softball and do know the game fairly well. I can't even begin to fathom what happened. I'm checking my text messages just to see if maybe my father is telling me what he saw happen, because he's watching and he knows the game just about as well as anybody I know. Love to find out what happened with Vince Domestico. Maybe he can tell us. But
steal home. Or same with
the fans are trying to argue with us. It was 3 outs. I'm not going to lie to you guys. 3 outs in that inning. Although they were unfortunate ones.
Right?
Yeah, right. But hey, we're up 6-5. It is the 7th inning.
Let's look on the bright side.
Holly Cashin has pitched a heck of a game after letting up 4 runs in the first. And now all the Clockers have to do is get 3 outs, and they're moving on to the round of 32 to head down a Walpole. And they've got to face
the biggest hitter in this lineup. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Tough spot for Holly to be in. She's got to throw first pitch strikes, and let's see if we can get out of this thing with no harm here in the top of the 7th to continue this great season, this magical season so far for the Clockers. It's been a fun one. It has.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, the most important half inning so far of the Clocker season is happening right here.
Need to be perfect everywhere. Kaufman is 0 for 3, and it's a ground ball into left on the first pitch of the inning. Not exactly what you want to start it off. The tying run is aboard here for Wayland.
Yeah, a really good piece of hitting by Kaufman. She laced that one past the outreach glove of Mustaris, who couldn't quite get there. That's a definite base hit. They hold her to 1. And every at-bat right now is absolutely enormous.
Calibro will bat. Runner bluff there. Vendetti will look her back.
No one was watching the wide
2 walks and a pop-out for Calibro.
The field one.
The Ashland fans are on edge.
I had to choose between ball or runner, which I really
1-0. Is a strike. Good pitch from Passion. 1 ball, 1 strike.
For my first,
I mean, that's her go-to. I mean, she's been nailing it with that pitch. If she could just dial that in.
He also gave me a lot of filming time.
Comes the 1-1 pitch. That is outside.
No, it's nice for us.
Vendetti's taking a look over there at Kaufman, who's trying to bait her a little bit. Got to be careful in these situations. The last thing you want to do is have an unforced error that puts a runner in scoring position. No risks need to be taken.
2-1.
Yeah, Holly!
Just missed. Where did it miss?
I missed a little low, I think. I think it was a little bit low, maybe even in. I got to be, I said, I'll be critical and I'll also be kind when I think he made the right call.
3-1. Line drive, right field. Sanders back, and it's over her head. Gets all the way to the fence. Sanders has trouble picking it up. Kaufman's getting the wave into third base. Stopping there is Calibro. It's an RBI triple and a tie game. And that's where that run that you didn't get in the bottom of the 6th inning comes back to bite you.
Yeah, it's a really nice hit there by Calabro, who puts it past Sanders, and then she wasn't able to pick it up. She mishandled it a little bit, which allows her to get all the way to third, and now we've got some trouble here. We've got a runner on third base with no outs in a tie ball game, and we're gonna have to work the rest of this inning with defense, because the bats are going to have to come alive, because unfortunately right now the Clockers have not had a ton of hitting from the bottom of their order. So it's going to be really big to see if they can get out of this inning with no more runs.
Yeah, and the Clockers, if they do want to win this game, it will need to be via a walk-off hit. As that's a line drive, snapped there by Ustaris. Looked back the runner and made the throw. What a play there.
Yeah, good one. I think Nico thought she might have caught it, but she one-hopped it and makes a nice play, gets it over to Kyra for the first out of the inning, and they're able to hold the runner at third base. She's not able to advance on that.
That is huge.
It is huge, and we've got one out with the runner on third base in a tie game.
We just need 2 more plays exactly like that.
Yeah. Olivia Kermelowitz bats, lines it into left field, and it drops in front of Wilson for a base hit. Runner will score, and Wayland regains the lead in the 7th. It's 7-6.
That go-ahead run there is really tough by Wayland. They go ahead now 7-6 here in the top of the 6th with only 1 out and the runner on first, putting the pressure certainly on Holly and Ashland.
Now you have to face Sophia Gork, who's 2 for 3. Smokes that one to short. What a play by Ustaris. They get one. Throw to first is high. Kyra will go to chase it. And staying at first base is Gork. A wise decision there. But we said Buterman had a couple smart plays earlier, knowing not to throw it. That one she probably could have kept in the pocket.
Yeah, probably could have held on. I think she got a little anxious trying to make it over. Ultimately, no harm is done as Kyra's able to get off the bag and grab it in time.
But I want to say, Mike, although you've said something about Caroline's speed, I can't believe how fast she got over to that fence to get that ball. I mean, she was like lightning to pick that up, to keep that runner there on first base.
Yeah, part of me wishes that the runner did go, because I think Caroline could have thrown
She
her
could
out
have. I think she could have. You're right.
Yeah. Here comes the number 9 hitter, Vivian Brevard. Takes one upstairs. Edan Parker came in to pinch run for Gork at first base with 2 outs here. So Cashin's job now to keep it a 1-run game. Here comes the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Brevard, 2 ground outs and a line out. 0 for 3 in the 9-hole. That one gets by the catcher, Vendetti, and into second base goes Parker. And now a 3-0 count here to Brevard.
Was that the first pass ball we've seen? I think on the part of Ashland.
So we talked about this. I am a catcher's dad, and I'm always going to make that call. That was a wild pitch. So when it bounces to me, I'm not going to make that pass ball on air.
Okay.
But yeah, it was our first one of the day. It has been a glove back there today.
Yeah, he's done a great job back there.
The one near the middle
Cashin
school.
throws strike
Yeah, I
1
go
to
there
Brevard,
too.
trying to work back here.
Well, it's just that my
3
coffee,
balls,
I have,
1
like,
strike.
but it tastes
Runner
so
in
much
scoring
worse when I
position,
get
2 away.
seasons.
Here comes. That's
Nice
a good
catch.
fastball, and it's a full count. So from 3-0 to 3-2, we're going to leave a runner on, keep it a 1-run game.
I tell you what, the Clockers have to get out of this right now, and then let's go and get the bats going.
That's a pop-up to first. Kyra makes the catch, and that was on the transfer. That was on the transfer.
Absolutely on the transfer.
That was on the transfer, and she went to go tag the bag, but it was foul
Absolutely on the
anyways.
transfer.
Oh my gosh, wait.
She
For
made that
She made the
catch.
catch. She made the catch. I don't know what the Walpole coach or Wayland coach is doing here, complaining. That was certainly on the transfer.
That was definitely on the transfer.
No doubt about it.
She makes the catch. They got that one right.
Because I went towards
So here we go. The
second
Clockers
or
have 3 outs to get at least 1 run to keep this game going and keep their round of 32 hopes alive.
Well,
They sure do. That one was a little bit scary because you never want to put anything in the hands
Yeah,
of
no,
the
I've always
umpire
had that
because he
issue.
certainly has blown a bunch today. I would have liked to have seen him squeeze that a little bit longer, but I do think ultimately he got the right call. I think that was on the transfer. Now this brings up Ruby Kazadian in a gigantic spot for the junior. Looking for her first hit of the day. And she's a kid who has the ability to change this entire game with one swing of the bat. I just don't want her up there thinking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's best that you don't in a situation like this. Just do what you can, you know? Know that you have players coming up behind you. Get on base. Doesn't matter if you get a hit. If you can walk, you know, reach on a on a hit by pitch or anything like that. Just get on base and let this inning unravel.
Half.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, but in reality, you're in the playoff game, you're down a run, you have 3 outs to go, and yeah, the coach is going to have to talk to these girls and get them relaxed and get them in their game, because this is like the highest pressure situation you could be in here.
Yeah, I hate to see. I'm gonna stay positive here because I think we can do this. I think Ruby is gonna get us going here with the big hit here in the bottom of the 7th. This is the same situation they were in last time when they came back and they beat Wayland. Where they had to do it in the bottom of the 7th with some big hits by the bottom half of the order. And Kazadian by no nature is a bottom half order hitter.
No.
On any team, she's probably hitting 3, 4, and 5, and she's here for us with 6.
Takes a first pitch ball. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, but nothing to show for. 3 ground outs on the afternoon as we begin the bottom of the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0.
Can't help right now but think about some really unfortunate things that have happened to the Clockers, right?
Yep.
3 outs at home plate. 1 mystery one, and then 2 really poor base running decisions.
That one's
Again,
3 balls.
I really want them to win, so I would hate to see those base running errors come back to haunt them in the long run.
Yeah.
Almost certain that Kazadian would be taking on a 3-0 pitch. Here comes. It is upstairs. So a lead-off walk. The tying run reaches, and are they going to go for a pinch runner here? I'd assume that's what Coach Sasso is going to talk
I
about.
assume you want to get some speed on the bases.
You know, Ruby's got decent wheels, and she's a smart base runner. He's gonna. Looks like he's going. I'm not sure who exactly he has to go in for Ruby to run. He's already used Merloni in a different situation. He's used Koch in another situation. Oh, maybe Koch can re-enter. No, who is that exactly? Number 8.
Maddie Sanders?
Maddie Sanders. So because she's not hitting,
she's a flex and she can go in.
Because she's a flex player, she is able to go in as a runner because she's a flex. Again, Maddie's got great wheels. Have to certainly think about a stolen base right now. I would think that is what he's going to try to do, and it looks like Kriegsman is back up.
Wow. Yeah, so Allie Wilson took her place after she got hit by a pitch, but she will come in and cut and miss.
Let's go, Rebecca!
Hopefully not her last at-bat of her, high school career.
Have to think that Maddie's taking steal right now.
0-1. Tries to lay a bunt down, but comes up empty, and now nothing in 2 here, and please do not bunt again. We've already seen them strike out on a bunt.
I mean, I do have to talk about the light, too. I mean, it continues to get a little bit dimmer out there.
That one misses. 1 and 2.
So the key here is you just need 1 more runner to get on, because it does turn it over to the top of the order here with no outs. You've got to turn it over.
Kriegsman, slow roller, but foul.
Oh, jeez.
That was in that area, that no man's land there, if she kept it fair. So it is still 1 and 2.
Yeah, Wayland has a couple of base hits from that, a slow roller over to the third base side, what they took advantage of. Would have been nice to see Ashland get one of those.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Kriegsman. Swing and a miss. Goes upstairs and gets her. And there's 1 away here in the 7th for Quinn Herder.
Well, Herder is the one who had the biggest hit of the game in Game 1 against Wayland. She had the game-winning hit in the first matchup.
First pitch, and she goes hacking, and it's 0-1. That one looked a little off, a little outside there.
Yeah, I think Quinn was a little over aggressive there, but obviously she's thinking base hit.
I'm not able to go either, but like...
Here comes the 0-1.
Even if I could.
That's a ball. Good stop behind the plate by Gork, a freshman. She's been good back there.
Yeah, I'm still surprised Maddie hasn't taken a chance here. Got to try and see if we can manufacture something, especially with 1 out here. Got to see if we can get a runner in a scoring position.
Yeah, she's 1 for 1 on steal attempts this season. Fouled ball by Herder. Now she's down in the count 1 and 2.
Both second baseman and shortstop are pretty far away from second base, so for them to get over there in time on the run, get a ball, and get it down on the runner would be challenging. So I agree. I'm surprised we're not trying to make something happen here.
How'd you guys do?
One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 2 down in the 7th,
Basically all of them.
and it all
Yeah.
comes down
Two.
to the pitcher, Holly Cashin. Here with 2 away. First pitch is a foul ball. Cashin is 1 for 3 with a single.
That's why he's the only one.
And the Clockers' last hope here with Ustaris on deck. You got to get on base any way possible.
Got to get on base any way possible here. Holly has put her bat on the ball today.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Down to their final strike. Potentially. 0-2 from Beckett. Ground ball back to the mound. Beckett goes to first, and the ball game is over. The Wayland Warriors come to Ashland and upset the Clockers 7-6. Some late inning controversy, certainly a factor. And the Clockers season comes to a close.
Yeah, an unfortunate way to end it. An unfortunate way to end a really, really wonderful season for this Clockers. Hats off to these young ladies who have really made it fun this year. I've enjoyed watching them every game. First tournament appearance in well over a decade. I hope that they do not leave this field with their heads down, because they had just such a great year. Coach Sasso comes in, leads them to a 15-5 regular season record. They're going to end the season at 15-6. A 1-run loss today to Wayland. And I have to say, just a controversial call. I wish I knew what it was. I'm sure Coach Sasso is absolutely not happy with how that thing ended, but you just can't leave the game in the hands of an umpire.
You can't, but you also have to go back to some of the running calls that you had mentioned before, some of those outs at home that happened just because of mistakes in the running base path. But I mean, overall, this is a very competitive game. This is a 1-run game in the playoff. So you really, like as you said, Mike, you really got to hand it to these girls. Number 1 and number 2, this is a young team. For these guys to get into the playoffs with the number of freshmen and sophomores that we have, what the team is going to look like in the coming years, going into next year, the year after. We're in a little bit of a renaissance here for Ashland softball, and I think we're going to have a couple of great seasons coming up as well. Again, this was a great season. Kudos to these girls. They just did a great job. Hold your heads up high and look forward to next year.
Yeah, I mean, I only watched 3 games, but it was a lot of fun action. And, today was no different. A little bit of a closer game, a little less offense. And unfortunately, it comes down to that call there. But, you had other chances, and you can't really just look at that and say it's all the umpire's fault.
Absolutely not. Plenty of opportunities today, Jacob. They left a lot of runners on base. They didn't string hits together like they have this season. But all in all, it was a pretty successful season for these Clockers. Like I said, they should have their heads held high as they leave this field today. Just a quick recap. Only 8 hits today for the Clockers. 3 from Ustaris, 3 from Kyra, 1 each from Colette and Cashin. And I think that we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the performance by Holly today. Not a kid who has thrown a lot of innings this entire year. She was great. Holly did a really nice job. 7 innings pitched. She allowed 10 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned, but limited her walks, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. It was that first inning. But then she came back and we let up 3 runs the rest of the day. So kudos to Holly for pitching really well today. And overall, a tough way to end an absolutely terrific season. The Clockers end with 15 wins. And I just don't think anybody wanted to see this thing end this way.
You did, but you also have to recognize up front that Bella, the pitcher for the team, and a tremendous pitcher in terms of her stats and what she brings to the team, being out is huge. That's like if Beckett wasn't here pitching. I mean, they suddenly have a completely different team. So, you lose your top pitcher that's taken you through the whole season. and you have Holly come in, who did a great job, but she hadn't pitched all season. There was a lot of pressure on her, and she came back. She did a good job. But for Ashland to come and have this type of a tight game without their starting pitcher that's kind of led them the whole season, it's very impressive.
Well, it was fun. It was a fun season. I'm glad I got to do this last one with you, George and Jacob. Thanks for joining me. It has really been a blast. I'm hoping to be able to get a couple more of these in next year. Thank you to these amazing seniors, Taylor Koch, Rebecca Kriegsman, and Quinn Herder, who provided tremendous senior leadership. The future is incredibly bright for this team. They are loaded with freshmen and sophomores. Finally, we'll leave with my saying congratulations to Nico Eustaris and Caroline Kyra, who were both voted by the league to be named Metro Tri-Valley League All-Stars, as well as two freshmen who were voted as Tri-Valley League Honorable Mention All-Stars, Bella Domestico and Ava Vendetti. Jacob, it's your job to sign us off for another day here at Ashland Softball.
Well, yeah, an incredible season for the Ashland Clockers. And for the baseball team, they'll be playing a game against Mansfield on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I'll be there live streaming it in Mansfield. It's a big game for them as they look to make a run in the playoffs. No preliminary round for them this year, had it last year. But unfortunately for the softball team, they couldn't get it done. A final score of 7-6. They finished the season 15-6. And thank you guys for joining us. Jacob Dula, Michael Kyra, George Tubin, saying so long from Ashland High School. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good job. Now we gotta go find out what the hell happened.
I wish you got a ticket. I have not. I know. This is what I want. I wish I knew what to call one.